Okay, so the other big concept, and I guess these were the two major things, but the other big concept was converting units to compare data, and that's something you guys said you guys struggled with. I actually thought you guys did a really good job on this, so I was a little surprised to see this, but since you guys asked for it, let's take a look at a problem we actually did in class together. So we're going to look at 8-107. This was in 8.3.3. Again, I don't have the page number because I don't have a physical book, but it's 8.3.3. It's in the the lesson converting units to compare data. So we have the two buddies. We call them a W and J in class. They have pet gerbils. Okay, so they like to let their pet gerbils walk on a small track. W thinks her gerbil can run faster than J's gerbil, but Jay disagrees. They decide to take some measurements and compare them. Way's gerbil runs 2 yards in 20 seconds. Jay's gerbil runs 20 feet in 1 minute. So our task was, and hopefully you guys remember this, was to work together to see whose gerbil is fastest. We also needed to make a diagram to answer our questions. So some of the things we need to think about as we're working through this task is how can we represent the situation for each gerbil with a diagram. And we talked about how diagrams was a huge thing with the diagram. Okay, so let's make sure we're doing diagrams. How can we compare the rates? How can we compare the measures that are in different units? So what I'm going to do is we're going to look through some of the guidance questions. Some of you guys were able to do this without the guidance. Maybe some of us needed the guidance and we didn't have the opportunity to look through them. So before I even do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some of the important information we need. So you guys really should have this in your notes. Also, we wrote this down in our notes. We worked on this problem. So we wrote the rates of the two gerbils. W's gerbil, how fast does W's gerbil go? W's gerbil runs 2 yards in 20 seconds. 2 yards in 20 seconds. J's gerbil runs 20 feet in 1 minute. Okay, so again, let's look through our discussion points. How can we represent the situation with the diagram? So we could do that in a second. How can we compare the rates? Okay, so we need to compare the rates. And you guys told me in class, okay, why is this difficult? SEC. Why are the two rates difficult? Why can't we compare the 2 yards in 20 seconds with the 20 feet in 1 minute? And well, you guys told me that the reason it's difficult is because the units are different. It's hard to compare the feet in yards and seconds and minutes. We like to have the same units to compare the rates. So how can we compare measures that are in different units? Well, I guess to answer that question, that means we have to convert them or find the same units. Again, some of the guidance questions helps us to answer that, but I think I'm changing my mind. I think we're just going to go through the lesson as we did in class. And if we need more guidance, though, we could, you guys could ask me in class. So let's draw the diagram out. Let's go ahead and draw the diagram out. Okay. Oops, that's a different one. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw the diagram out. So for the diagram, we probably want to have a number line. So let's go ahead and start the number line. Let's see, start here. Okay. In that number line, let's go ahead and let's do W's. Okay, I'm gonna do W's in green, I guess, and J's I'll do in purple or pink. So for W's, let's say that actually let's do J's first. Since he did a full minute, let's actually work on J's. So for J's is kind of easy. We're going to go and say that this is, if the bottom part is the time, 0 time. Right here at the end we'll say is 1 minute. Okay, so in 1 minute, Okay, for J's, well, how far does it go in 1 minute? J's gerbil goes 20 feet. 20 feet. Okay, so it goes 20 feet in 1 minute. Now let's look and let's see W's gerbil. W's gerbil goes 2 yards in 20 seconds. So, I need to think about this. Okay, well, this is in seconds and this is in minutes. So, let's say that they do go, W's does go 20 seconds. Okay. Plus 20 seconds. So, at 20 seconds, W's would have gone 2 yards plus 2 yards. Okay. Sorry, it's really hard to write on this computer. Another 20 seconds. That's going to be 40 seconds total. 40 seconds. That's going to be another 2 yards. Okay, so this is at 2 yards. This is going to be 2 plus 2 yards is going to be 4 yards. Okay, and finally another 20 seconds. And hey, if I notice 20 plus 20 plus 20 is actually 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. So if he goes that final 20 seconds, that's another 2 yards. That's gonna be 6 yards. Okay, so maybe we're onto something. In the same amount of time for W, let's say in W, in 60 seconds, we could say that W's gerbil goes 2, 4, and 6 yards. For J's gerbil, in 1 minute, J's gerbil goes 20 feet. So we're at the same time now. We could say it's 6 yards in 60 seconds or 6 yards in 1 minute. Okay, so now we have the same time. Okay, as far as time, the units are now the same. However, the distance, we have yard and feet. Well, if we remember the conversion rate, 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Okay, if 3 feet equals 1 yard, we could either figure out how many yards J's gerbil went to get the same units, or how many feet W's gerbil went. I think it's a little easier to find the feet that J's gerbil went. If each yard is 3 feet, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If each yard is 3 feet, and each of these reds are a yard, okay, well, we have 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, and 18 feet. In other words, we actually could have just multiplied 6 times 3, right? Because each of them is 3 feet. So we could say that that's actually 18 feet in 1 minute. Whereas J's gerbil goes 20 feet in 1 minute. So, whose gerbil goes faster? If W's only goes 18 feet and J's gerbil goes 20 feet, it looks like J's gerbil is faster. J's gerbil is faster. Okay? So, to answer your question about how do we convert units, well, we haven't mastered that topic. I'm introducing it to you guys, and what I want to see from you guys is to see a diagram. And you guys, again, you guys did a very good job doing the diagrams on the test, so I was a little surprised to see that question. But here you go.